Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And we're looking at Star Wars episode number 5, The Empire Strikes Back. I just did a close-up look at the DVD sets. This is the second time I was shooting that video. I've done it when I initially got the sets. But yeah, I just did that before this just so that I can keep a refresh of it. And yeah, so yesterday, I was about to say Independence Day, New Year's Eve, I watched the movie The Empire Strikes Back, and I will be watching the sixth movie maybe another week or maybe another couple of weeks from now. But yes, The Empire Strikes Back, which for a lot of people it's their favorite movie. It isn't mine, but I still do like the movie quite a bit. The Empire Strikes Back came out in 1980, and I don't remember which year it was, but it's probably around 82 or 83. This is one of the first films that I remember watching in the theaters in India. My uncle took me and my cousin to watch the movie in a theater. I think it was called Galaxy, if I'm not mistaken, or Corpus, one of those. That's my first memory of this particular film. And then, of course, I've seen it many times on VHS, on DVD. I've watched it on streaming services, on cable, etc., etc. Blu-ray is the only thing that's remaining, but then Blu-ray is very expensive for me over here. So anyhow, it came out in 1980, American space opera film, directed by Irvin Kershner this time, and based on a story by George Lucas. I think he was kind of tired, so he didn't want to do the direction himself. But yeah, it is basically his vision. So it is the second film set in the Star Wars film series, of course. Then chronologically, it is the fifth. We are looking at it that way. So the Skywalker saga. It's 3 years after the events of Star Wars, and basically you've got Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, all of them. So the cast is, of course, Mark Hamill returning, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Billy D. Williams makes his first appearance, Anthony Daniels, David Prowse, Kenny Baker, Peter Mayhew, and Frank Oz all return. Alright, and we got the voice of, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Alec Guinness's voice plays in it as Obi-Wan Kenobi. So it's 3 years after the destruction of the Death Star. The Rebel Alliance is gaining in numbers, but they're hiding from the Empire, and basically they've got this base on a planet called Hoth. Hoth is, of course, very famous in the sci-fi and Star Wars circles. And they send out these drone robots, the Empire, to find where they are, and a couple of them land on Hoth. Luke Skywalker's out on a reconnaissance mission, on his, I forget what that beast is called, kind of looks like a mix between a horse and a kangaroo, and he notices it. He managed to destroy it using the Force, and then unfortunately he is captured by a wampa, which is like an abominable snowman. You've got these creatures. So he catches Luke, takes him to the cave, but he managed to escape using his telekinesis ability and his lightsaber, and then he unfortunately is kind of slightly wounded in the snow, and then Han Solo comes to his rescue, and then they bring him back to the rebel base. While he's unconscious, or while he's there, Obi-Wan Kenobi's voice comes to him and tells him to go to the swamp planet named Dagobah, that's another name, to train as a Jedi Knight under the Jedi Master Yoda. Now, they've never actually met. I'm talking about Luke and Yoda have never actually met now. So he tells the rest of the people, and then they discover that there are these drones available to their hiding place is actually probably known. So the Rebel Alliance leaves. Han, Leia with C-3PO, and Chewbacca go on the Millennium Falcon, and Luke tells him that he'll catch up with them later. He goes to Dagobah to meet Yoda. So most part of the Yoda thing is him meeting Yoda. He doesn't tell him who he is. Of course, And then there's all that training, and yeah, we get to see the wonder that is actually Yoda. Um, he trains him a little bit, but he still has fear. His training is not complete. He managed to do some of the levitation and all those things, but his training is not complete. Meanwhile, uh, the Millennium Falcon has goes onto an asteroid field away from the Empire's ships to actually do some repairs, and that's where I keep wondering where that meme comes from, and that's because they are actually on this asteroid field was actually inside the mouth of some creature, and you know the meme that I'm talking about. So they decide to go to get a little bit more repairs done to the places Bespian, and they have this floating cloud city. And I'm sorry, Han Solo says they'll meet up with his old friend oh my goodness, Lando Calrissian, who we get to see in the Han Solo movie how they actually meet. So they go there, but Boba Fett actually tracks them all the way, and Vader is already waiting for them. So he basically forces Lando, because he's so powerful. So they had to surrender the group to the Empire, and basically it's to get Luke to come over. So of course, as you know, he wants Luke to turn to the dark side, and make him a strong ally for the Sith, and he wants to transport him using this what's it called, carbonite. So it's very risky. So he decides to put Han Solo in it, and of course that's when Leia confesses her love for him, and he says, "I know." They put him in this, frozen into that particular thing, which is very very iconic, and then he gives it to Boba Fett so he can take it to Jabba the Hutt. Lando takes this opportunity to actually free them, and then Luke comes in. They go on to the Falcon and they leave, but Luke stays behind because he knows that Vader is there, and they have a little bit of a fight. And he tells him, join me, together we'll become really powerful, and we can defeat the Emperor, his master, and together they can actually rule the universe. And Luke tells him no, and then they have a fight, and they continue the fight, sorry. That's of course where one of the most memorable scenes in this kind of a film is there, where he chops off Luke's hand with the lightsaber, the lightsaber dueling hand, and while he's trying to climb onto this kind of thing, then the dialogue says, you killed my father. No, I am your father. It's not Luke, I'm your father. It's I am your father. And he goes, no. It's almost like a Hindi movie at this point. Anyway, so he drops down the chute, and he is hanging on for dear life on that cloud city when he reaches out to Leia. Oh, they're on the Millennium Falcon. So Leia and along with the others, they get back, and they grab onto him so that they escape from there. And later on we see that he is fitted with robotic prosthetics. Lando and Chewbacca decide to go on the Millennium Falcon to go and find Han, which you see in the next movie. While our hero Luke recuperates with Leia, C-3PO and R2-D2, and that's basically how the movie ends. Really, really good movie. It's still not my favorite. It still is not my favorite. Excuse me. I do not know if this would be my second favorite. I've done like a little bit of a soul searching, if you want to say, and going through all the movies and seeing which one would actually be my favorite. Like I would rank them all, and I would say that definitely for sure Revenge of the Sith is my favorite movie. what did I give this one? I think this was my so I did this back in 2018, I think. Yeah, this was actually the no, uh, this was actually number one, two, three, four, number 5 actually. So I put this in number 5. I'm not really sure. I think I have to take a look at it. I think this would actually be number 3, I guess. If I look at it. No. Revenge of the Sith number 1, New Hope number 2, and this is probably number 4. And I would put Return of the Jedi in number 3 spot. So yeah, that's basically it. I'll give this movie an 8 out of 10. Catch you later.